Did mobsters kill actress Thelma Todd? Find out on Entertainment Tonight.
Jackie.
We now join our regular programming already in progress.
Career. In 1971, Stewart regained his championship form while once again winning 6 Grand Prix events. With this performance, Jackie also won his second World Championship. Stewart's prize money for that season totaled over $800,000. Following a subpar season in 1972, Jackie came back in dynamic fashion in 1973. He won races in South Africa, Belgium, Monaco, the Netherlands, and Germany. With his third World Championship in hand, he announced his retirement from racing. Although much of Mario Andretti's racing success has come on the IndyCar circuit, he certainly made his mark in Formula One racing. Mario's first full season in Grand Prix racing was 1977. Over the course of that year, Andretti became the first American to win the U.S. Grand Prix. He also won in Spain, France, and in his native Italy. Andretti finished third in the Formula One standings. The 1978 Grand Prix season proved to be Mario's finest hour as a Formula One driver. With victories in Argentina, Belgium, Spain, France, Germany, and Holland, Mario Andretti became only the second American driver ever to win the Grand Prix championship.
Guys, look who's here.
It's Mr. Most Likely to Succeed.
Hi, Steve. Nice truck.
Bet it's just like our trucks.
Nah, it's a Ford Ranger XLT. Has anti-lock rear brakes, electronic fuel injection.
How about AM/FM stereo cassette?
That too, plus power steering and 660 powertrain warranty.
Okay, but who paid less?
I did. I hate reunions.
Ford Ranger. More features for less money than Chevy or Toyota.
On your path to success, reach for America's strongest financial helping hand, Citicorp and Citibank. More American families own their own homes and attend college with our help, and more get what they want with MasterCard and Visa cards from Citibank than from any other company. We also serve millions of customers in every major marketplace worldwide. Citicorp, because Americans want to succeed, not just survive.
Folks who use Tartar Control Crest have a few things to say about their cleanings.
Wonderful.
Great.
Marvelous.
That's it.
You should care.
Beautiful.
For me.
Because dental cleanings are easier with Tartar Control Crest.
Thoughtful night. Yeah. It's paradise.
Woo.
It's what I love to see.
So use the toothpaste more dentists recommend.
Wonderful.
It's wonderful. Tartar Control Crest, the dentist's choice, is hard on tartar and easy on you.
All right.
Someone up there at Nissan likes you. Cashback continues at Nissan. You can get $500 to $1,000 cash back on selected hard bodies and Sentras. Up to $2,000 cash back or special financing on selected Stanzas. And dealer cash incentives up to $3,000. So get into what's coming down at your Nissan dealer now.
This might embarrass my family, but I feel I have to tell you about this disease I had called depression. It's so painful, I wanted to kill myself. That's why everyone should know the major warning signs. Hopelessness, a change in sleeping patterns, a noticeable weight change, thoughts of suicide. If my wife hadn't made that call for me, I probably wouldn't be alive.
Call Fair Oaks Hospital now at 1-800-HELPLINE.
Following a 4-year hiatus due to World War II, the Indianapolis 500 resumed again in 1946. Huge crowds turned out to watch a field of 33 cars roar into action. The cars were pre-war models, and it would be a few years before newer, faster cars entered the race. A driver named Maury Rose earned his place in history by winning his third 500 in 1948. In 1951, the race was run in under 4 hours for the first time.
When a driver enters the Indianapolis 500, he must have everything working in perfect sync if he has any hope of winning the race. The car must be in peak form. The pit crew has to be sharp. You even have to avoid everyone else's mistakes. It doesn't hurt to have a little luck on your side either. When you run in the big one at Indianapolis, you're attempting to place your name in the record books.
Bill Vukovich narrowly missed winning the Indianapolis 500 in 1952. Vukovich came back to win the race in 1953 and 1954. While running in the Indianapolis in 1955, Vukovich crashed and died as a result of his injuries. Roger Ward was the premier IndyCar driver of his day. Early on in his career, Ward was known as a reckless driver. In fact, he was involved in Bill Vukovich's fatal crash. Ward qualified for his first Indianapolis 500 in 1951 and entered a total of 15 over his career. Roger Ward entered the 1959 Indy 500 with a leader car special, which was built by A.J. Watson. With an average speed of 135 miles per hour, Ward won the race by a margin of 19 seconds.
For several days after the race, I couldn't believe it. I'd lay awake at night thinking, let's see, your name is Roger Ward and you won the 500. And a couple of times I pinched myself to see if perhaps it wasn't a dream.
Ward found success at Indianapolis once again in 1962. This time he drove a leader car roadster to the checkered flag while setting a new record with a speed of 140.292 miles an hour. Ward also earned his second driving title in 1962. Although Roger Ward would not win the big one again, he did go on to finish his career with the second highest number of victories in all of IndyCar racing. A.J. Foyt is truly a racing legend in his own time. Foyt is the all-time leader with 67 IndyCar victories. A.J. won his first race in 1960. That same year, Foyt also won an IndyCar championship. And in 1961, he took his first checkered flag at the Indianapolis 500. He also earned his second national championship that year. A.J. Foyt won his second Indianapolis 500 in 1964. A.J. would go on to win an astounding total of 5 IndyCar championships, as well as 2 more Indy 500s. Bobby Unser is a member of the most successful racing family of all time. Bobby began racing on the IndyCar circuit in 1955, and by the time of his retirement in 1981, he had earned a place among the elite drivers of all time. Bobby Unser won his first Indy 500 in 1968. Unser went on to win the race 2 more times in his career. In all, Bobby won 35 races and ranks 4th on the IndyCar win list. In addition to the 3 victories at Indianapolis, Bobby Unser was also a 2-time national champion. He established a record by winning races in 11 consecutive seasons. This is what a young Johnny Rutherford looked like at the beginning of his career. Johnny started racing Indy cars back in 1962. He won his first race in 1965. In 1974, the man they call Lone Star JR placed himself in the spotlight with a win at the Indianapolis 500. After starting out in 25th place, Rutherford fought his way to the front. Johnny went on to win the race again in 1976.
When you win, it's the greatest thing in the world. It's excitement, it's success. It's just being able to go out and to go against 32 other guys and to try to pull it all out and to, when you finally win, it could have been the most physical, grueling, mentally race of your life. But when you take the checker and roll into victory lane, it's just elation.
Lone Star JR is one of auto racing's brightest stars.
In addition to that select group of drivers, there are two other men who've experienced it all at the Indy 500. One of them is the ever-popular Mario Andretti. Mario has had some frustrating days at the Brickyard. I was responsible for one of them. The other driver is Al Unser of the Racing Unser family. Al is one of the most respected and successful drivers of all time. He's always been at his best in the world's most famous race.
Entering the 1969 Indianapolis 500, Mario Andretti had failed to finish the previous three races. While qualifying for the race, Mario's bad luck seemed to continue when he crashed his car. Mario was able to qualify a backup car, the red number 2 car. With the second car running smoothly, Andretti was not only in the race, but he was a front runner. He eventually went on to stay ahead of Lloyd Ruby to win his first and only Indianapolis 500. Mario's overall success as an IndyCar driver has been spectacular. He has 49 wins, second to A.J. Foyt. Mario is also a 4-time national champion. Andretti has been voted Driver of the Year in the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. Al Unser, the younger brother of Bobby, is the most successful of all the Unsers. Al entered racing in 1964 and has won 39 races. Entering his 5th Indy 500 in 1970, Al Unser was looking for the biggest win of his career. Running in his Johnny Lightning car, Unser found little challenge during the race. Following his win, Al went on to capture his first national championship. He and Bobby became the first brothers ever to win the Indianapolis 500.
For me to win and to have the first brothers to win Indianapolis like that, it really made it nice. It's a great feeling because, you know, even though you know the Unser name is there, you're not sure whether you can win it or not. Because just because your name's Unser doesn't mean that you can win. And so when I was able to win it, it really added a lot to, in fact, it made it so neat. It made Bobby and I equal then. So.
In 1971, Al Unser returned to the Brickyard to defend his title. Once again, Unser and his Lightning car ran away from the rest of the field. Unser went on to take the 500 again in 1978, and once again in 1987. Al Unser became only the second man to win 4 Indianapolis 500s.
There are lots of sunglasses out there, but most are just illusions. These don't give you the clear vision you get from Ray-Ban sunglasses. These don't give you 100% UV protection. Only one has the quality of Ray-Ban sunglasses, and no others give you Ray-Ban style. Ray-Ban by Bausch & Lomb. Optics, not optical illusions.
Jeff? I'm home. You hungry? Apparently not. Jeff, how much did you eat?
Don't feel so good, Mom.
Here.
The one that coats is the only one you need.
You know, there are a lot of reasons why your car might leak. Is your transmission shot? Maybe, maybe not. Now's the time to take your car to AMCO. They'll give your transmission the most complete diagnostic checkup in the industry. So if it's just a small problem, they'll spot it. Fact is, half the cars serviced by AMCO dealers don't need a new transmission. So chances are that little leak won't end up draining your wallet.
AMCO, AA, MCO.
Did you know that you can make beautiful Afghans like this in less than 45 hours? You can with a simple and inexpensive nitwit. Making an Afghan like this, or this, or even this is easy with the ingenious Nitwit. Even if you've never made handcraft before, Nitwit is so easy. Nitwit comes complete with square and round tools, plus illustrated patterns for Afghans. To make this Afghan, just wrap the yarn, a few simple stitches, twist, and your handmade craft pops off already joined together. But wait, if you order now, you'll receive this set of 3 Doodle-Loom tools. With Doodle-Loom, you just wrap the yarn, tie the middle, and snip it off for huggable, fluffy toys like these. Your Nitwit and Doodle-Loom tools are just $19.95.
To order, send $19.95 plus $3 postage and handling to Nitwit Box 4040, Woburn, Mass. 01888. Or use your Visa or MasterCard. Call 1-800-453-6200.
At one time, stock car racing was only popular in the South. Today, it has a nationwide audience. The NASCAR circuit is run on tracks from Florida to California. Drivers must have strength, skill, and endurance to handle the big, powerful cars. The good old boys from the South still dominate stock car racing, and the next group of drivers represent the class of NASCAR.
The NASCAR circuit was formed in 1949. Originally, the stock cars resembled the typical production models, but over the years, the cars have become specifically designed for racing. For many drivers, the only way to succeed was to be backed by a large car company. There were some who preferred to go it alone. One of the first true independent drivers was the leader of the Alabama gang. His name is Bobby Allison.
When I first started out, what I looked forward to was just being able to be at the event and to be out there running with the other guys. And of course, after I won a few times, then the idea of winning becomes a big factor in your outlook too, and it certainly is in mine.
Bobby Allison won his first Grand National race in 1966. By the end of the 60s, Allison was one of NASCAR's top money winners. During the decade of the 70s, Bobby won 3 Southern 500s and the first Daytona 500 of his career. In the 80s, Bobby Allison kept his foot to the floor and won 2 more Daytona 500s, as well as his first Grand National Championship. In 1988, Bobby was critically injured in a crash, but recovered and may race once again. Over the course of his career, Bobby Allison has been voted as the most popular driver in NASCAR 6 times. Cale Yarborough's driving success on the NASCAR circuit began back in 1963. His skills behind the wheel earned him the nickname Steady Cale. With victories in the Southern 500 and the Daytona 500, Cale was on his way to the top in 1968. After racing Indy cars in the early 70s, Yarborough returned to stock cars in 1973. In 1976, Cale was all the way back with 9 wins in his first Grand National Championship. The following year, Yarborough won his second Daytona 500, as well as his second straight Grand National Championship. The 1978 season brought a 4th Southern 500 win and a 3rd consecutive national championship. The 1980s brought even more success for Yarborough. In his 3rd decade of racing, Cale won his 5th Southern 500. He won the Daytona 500 in 1983 and 1984. Steady Cale Yarborough is one of NASCAR's legendary figures. David Pearson is another stock car driver who began running at the head of the pack during the 60s. Nicknamed the Silver Fox, Pearson was a crafty driver who who won a total of 105 Grand National races, the second highest total in NASCAR. During the 60s, David was voted Rookie of the Year and won 3 Grand National Championships. The familiar number 21 of David Pearson was a frequent visitor to the victory lane in the 70s. In 1973, Pearson won 11 races and was voted the Driver of the Year. He won both the Daytona 500 and the Southern 500 in 1976, and once again was named the Driver of the Year. David Pearson, NASCAR's Silver Fox.
Despite all the success enjoyed by drivers like Allison, Yarborough, and Pearson, there's one man they've never caught. He's been running and winning races for over 30 years and is NASCAR's all-time leader in victories. He has won more Daytona 500s than any man in history. He is without a doubt the greatest stock car driver of all time. They call him the King.
Richard Petty has worn stock car racing's crown for most of his 30 years in auto racing. Petty has produced some mind-boggling figures. After being chosen the NASCAR Rookie of the Year in 1958, Richard went on to win his first Daytona 500 in 1964. That same year, he won his first Grand National title. Petty won his second Daytona 500 in 1966 and his second championship in 1967. The decade of the 70s proved to be the height of King Richard's reign over all of NASCAR. During that period, Petty won 5 Grand National titles and an amazing total of 4 more Daytona 500s. He dominated stock car racing like no other driver before. With a career total of 200 wins, there is little chance of the King losing his title. His closest rival trails by almost 100 wins. Richard Petty is still out on the tracks of America in search of more checkered flags. There is no doubt that he's the best there's ever been.
Says, pay me now or pay me later. Swell. On the other hand, Purolator says, pay us now and we'll pay you later. Again and again, over and over, day after day.
Presenting the Purolator $3 repeat rebate. Now you can get a $3 rebate anytime and every time you buy Purolator air and oil filters together.
Year after year, time after time, again and again and again and...
It took 2,000 years, but a revolutionary discovery is changing the way men think about coloring their gray hair. It's called Just for Men, from the leader in men's hair coloring. Simply apply Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, shampoo out. Your gray is blended away, leaving your natural-looking color. 5 minutes. Here, look at me. Just for Men leaves your hair looking healthy and fuller, and it won't fade or wash out. Just for Men, in the men's hair care section.
Someone up there at Nissan likes you. Cashback continues at Nissan. You can get $500 to $1,000 cash back on selected hard bodies and Sentras. Up to $2,000 cash back or special financing on selected Stanzas. And dealer cash incentives up to $3,000. So get into what's coming down at your Nissan dealer now.
Come on, boy. Let's go out.
No, we're going for a drive. What's wrong with you?
No.
Where you go? Come back here. Out. You're going for a drive. Come back here.
If your car's even turning off your best friend, better get Mako. Mako, state-of-the-art auto painting and body repair. High-tech, low prices. Keep Mako on top. Well, another satisfied customer.
One factor unique to every level and type of racing is the ever-present danger. The potential for injury and even death tests the courage of all those who run in the fast lane.
The thrills and rewards that come with success in auto racing are offset by some very serious dangers. In most sports, a mistake can result in a loss. In racing, a mistake can be fatal. Drivers push themselves and their cars to the edge, and sometimes things go wrong. Those of us who make a living in the high-speed chess match realize that the risks are high. We're willing to bet on our own abilities.
Roger Ward recalls his saddest moment in racing.
That I was involved in a very tragic accident. It was brought about, I suppose, because of my determination to stay out there in a race car that certainly was not performing the way it should. And I knew I had a problem, but because of the criticism, I made up my mind I was going to stay out there until the race car quit. Well, what happened was that the front axle broke. The car went out of control, hit the outside retaining wall, and I actually flipped 3 times. But the thing that happened was that the other automobiles, attempting to avoid my wrecked automobile, got tangled up, and Billy Vukovic ran over another man's wheel that was spinning, and he lost his life. And that was a great personal tragedy for me because Billy and I were very close friends, and the fact that I had caused the accident or had been a part of it really caused me to do some thinking, and I decided that if I was going to stay in racing, it was perhaps time to become a true professional.
In 1965, a young Cale Yarborough was running in the Southern 500 at Darlington. Cale's red Ford tangled with another car, and the results were frightening.
When something bad happens, all you think about is trying to save the car itself. And even, I've been upside down at over 200 miles an hour, and I was still steering that thing, trying to think maybe there was some way to save it, but usually it's not. But it's just something that you develop throughout your racing career that you never give up on it. You're still trying to drive it no matter what kind of position it's in.
Luckily, Cale Yarborough walked away from his brush with disaster. Over the years, some of the drivers at the Indianapolis 500 haven't been so lucky. There have been many accident-filled 500s, but none was more tragic than the race held in 1973. That Indianapolis 500 is remembered for the numerous rain delays, the 3 serious accidents, and the tragic deaths of a pit crew member and a young driver.
The 1973 Indianapolis 500 encountered a great deal of setbacks from the outset. On the opening lap of the race, a car driven by Salt Walter spun out of control. Miraculously, Walter was not seriously injured. After the race was restarted, Peter Revson lost control of his car and found the wall. Revson also escaped serious injury. The race seemed to have dodged another bullet. With the race underway once again, all seemed to be running smoothly. Then another crash took place. This one involved Swede Savage. Savage was critically injured and died 1 month later. In the confusion of the accident, a pit crew member was struck and killed by a truck on pit road. The race continued on under these trying conditions. Eventually, Gordon Johncock was declared the winner after 332 miles were run. All in all, this race marked the low point in modern Indianapolis history. Grand Prix champion Jackie Stewart talks about the dangers of his game.
When you drive racing cars at speeds to up to close to 200 miles an hour, things can go wrong. And when things go wrong at that speed, you're speaking of an aircraft accident. You're speaking of the same kind of accident that would have happened in a DC-10 or in any other kind of crash of an aircraft. It's almost a ballistic missile when a racing car crashes, because it's got fuel on board, it's got oil, it's got very little protection for the driver, and he's sitting in there in this cocoon with very little space around him. But still, we as drivers recognize the limitations and the risks of our sport, and that's something we accept. When the accident does occur, it does happen so quickly that, you know, you're so busy trying to get yourself out of it, and the adrenaline's pumping so quickly that, first of all, there's no fear. You don't think, oh my God, I'm going to die. There's never that. Although I must admit, on a couple of occasions, I've felt I'm going to hurt myself.
Indy champion Al Unser offers his feelings on the high speeds of his sport.
You look back the early 1960s when Parnelli Jones run 150 mile an hour, everybody said that's it, you know, and then Mark Donohue came along and run 180 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden Tom Sneaver and a few others run over 200. I don't think it's too fast, no. Through engineering and through development with the cars, the speeds have climbed, and they'll keep climbing because of the mechanics, and the designers want to beat each other as well as the drivers. So I don't think it's too fast.
If you ask every American the meaning of success, you won't hear the same answer twice. Whatever your idea of succeeding, Citicorp and Citibank can help. With Citibank MasterCard and Visa cards, Citicorp Savings, Diners Club, and Citicorp Mortgage. We also serve millions of customers in every major marketplace worldwide. Citicorp, because Americans want to succeed, not just survive.
There are lots of sunglasses out there, but most are just illusions. These don't give you the clear vision you get from Ray-Ban sunglasses. These don't give you 100% UV protection. Only one has the quality of Ray-Ban sunglasses, and no others give you Ray-Ban style. Ray-Ban by Bausch & Lomb. Optics, not optical illusions.
Here's to you, America.
Chrysler Plymouth interrupts this commercial for an important announcement. 0% financing on every new 1989 car in stock. That's right, 0%.
Here's to you, America. Here's to the red, white, and blue.